my pleasure to welcome everybody, as well as Coach Trei Oliver. Coach, really appreciate you coming back after all the success you had last year. I know you had a lot of interest. We already covered that last year, so we're looking forward to 2023. If you can, talk about how the preseason has been going for you.
Well, no rest for the weary. I mean, it's been very busy. Coach has been working really hard ever since the offseason, and the guys have been, putting a lot of time and work in as well. Trying to work to get bigger, faster, and stronger, get a better field grasp for the playbook with the new guys, and it does not stop. So we've been quite busy around here, trying to prepare for this 2023 season. Obviously, we had a successful 2022 campaign, but like we've been saying, that's over and done with. So this is a new year, and we have a tough opponent coming in here early. So although the Division II, Winston Salem State is a well-coached team, and we will have to definitely be prepared for this home opener.
All right, our first question's from Chris Clark. Go ahead, Chris.
Coach, wanted to piggyback off of that first game there, get into taking on Winston-Salem State. Not many people would come in taking on a Division II squad, but obviously you scheduled them. Glad you did. But how do you keep your guys focused? Because everybody coming in there is going to have, that's their Super Bowl if they can take you all down. That is going to be one amped up team. Not that you need to keep your guys focused, but how do you get them to dot every I and cross every T to make sure that there isn't, knock on wood, no epic letdown here for this crew? Because Winston would love nothing more. And I know Massey would love nothing more than to put that feather in his cap.
Definitely. And, it's over with. 22 is over with. Now, we had a team meeting the other day, and I showed the guys on our PowerPoint presentation. In 21, the game was tied up going in at the end of the fourth quarter. It's a minute and 47 seconds left to go in the game, and it's tied up. So, we had our hands full with them in 21. Last year, we played a little bit better, but, I just got finished watching that film this morning. And, they caused some problems in certain areas, and they're a well-coached football team, and they play extremely hard. And, like you say, and I know some of the coaches over there, and it would be nothing more for them to try to come in here and steal a win from us. So we're going to prepare for them like we're going to prepare for any other team on our schedule. And I can assure you, we're not going to take them lightly. But looking at what I've seen on film thus far and the guys that coming back with their roster, we're going to have our hands full. We're going to have to play.
My follow-up to that, if I could, was where do you think that they'll attack you? Just out of curiosity, where do you think that Coach Massey will go for first to try and test your squad out?
Well, I think they're going to try to run the football on us and try to slow the game down a little bit. With the new rules, the clock continue to run after first downs. I've already seen that's going to probably take a whole possession away from you. You probably 8 to 10 plays. You can get 8 to 10 plays less this year than you would have last year. So I think if I was them offensively, they'd probably try to run the ball against us. And then defensively, just try to keep it in front of us. We have some really good receivers, and obviously have a good quarterback. So I would think that they would probably play a little softer type coverage and try to keep it in front of them. But they're going to take some chances. You're going to have some trick plays, and they're going to try to make some plays on special teams. But we just have to be sound and play outstanding football.
And the last one, I'll leave you alone and hand it over to JB here. As how important is it to have that place packed out, to have everybody on your side? I know they're going to bring some fans. I know they're going to bring some people up. But how important is it to have that place full of NC Central supporters yelling and screaming at every good play, backing you guys up?
Man, we need somebody to bring somebody. We need to pack this place out this weekend. And our players love our fans and our students and the band. So, we want to put on a show for our fans, and we feed off of them. The energy they bring into the nest. Our guys really appreciate that. So to all of our Central fans out there, Eagle Nation, we need you all to come out here early and pack the house. So, and get behind your football team.
Our next question from JB Ricks. Go ahead, JB.
Coach, always a pleasure to see you. I know we just caught up last week, man, but we got to keep this football banter going. I wanted to ask you about balancing the level of intensity in training camp practices compared to a game week practice. You're officially at the game week now, and I know that the training camps can be very intense because guys are trying to make the team and decide whether or not they're going to be a red shirt or not. But now it's officially a game week. So how do you as a head coach balance balance, you know what I mean, switching up that intensity from last week to this week?
Well, we'll have several periods throughout practice, and we'll only go goods versus goods one, maybe 2 periods a day. So usually it's going to be our goods versus scout team on either side of the ball. So we still need to have a level of intensity with our scout team, giving us a look and getting these guys prepared. But I am glad that we're done with camp and we're kind of away from that good on good stuff, because it was getting kind of physical out there, you know. And it's hard to kind of, you can't really slow guys down and make them a soft football team, but you at the same time, you don't want to take shots on your teammates. So, you know, we show players, guys the plays from practice where, you know, we don't want to take a shot on our teammate, but we still want to be physical. So it's kind of a catch-22. You know, my O-line's looking at me crazy about, you know, taking shots, but yet, coach, you know, you don't want us to be physical. Yes, but we got to get our teammates to the game. And we did have a very physical camp, but now it's time to make sure we get our guys to game day healthy and that we're prepared as well.
Our next question from Caleb Veal. Go ahead, Caleb.
Hi, Coach. Nice to speak with you again. You touched on the physicality that we saw from you guys in training camp. Just following up on that, what were some of the main focuses in training camp this year that you really think you guys kind of bolted down on and got squared away?
I think one big one, the big thing is, you know, technique and fundamentals. We had a lot of guys returning, so a lot of guys had a good grasp of what we were trying to do schematically. But you got to improve every day with your technique and your fundamentals, whether it be eye discipline, your run fits, hand placement. It's just so many things that guys, you know, can improve on. And, you know, it's good when you see your good players improving. You know, people ask me about Pee Wee Davis. And how is he doing and all this other stuff. When you see him improving, or Khalil Baker, when you see him improving with eye discipline and jumping routes and stuff like that, that's when you know guys are getting coached up. So it's good to see my coaches are doing a heck of a job. They haven't gotten complacent, and they're still, you know, working to get these guys in game shape.
All right, our next question's from Kate Rogerson. Go ahead, Kate.
Hey, Coach, I know the past of the past and 22 is behind us, but when you all faced Winston Salem State last year, you were 6 for 6 in the red zone. You did not fail to score. How do you keep that standard going into this year's matchup?
Well, we practice situations all the time. We've done so much red zone work. Any situation you can think of, we work on that stuff. So that's the thing. You have to be efficient in the red zone. And we don't want field goals. We want to score touchdowns. And, you know, same thing defensively. I believe we led the country defensively in red zone defense. So that's such an important part of the field right there that you've got to win down there.
And to follow up on that, a lot of eyes are on Davius this year, given his success from last year and the hype going into this season for the entire Eagles program. How have you watched him kind of handle this new attention, but also perfect his craft in the same way and put his head down and work?
You know, it's all the guys really, and not just him, but, you know, a lot of the guys have really matured and grown up off the field. And, you know, if you remember back in 2019, these days right here, when you all talked to Davius, it was a whole different person. So it's just great to see these guys grow up and mature. And I don't think that all the success has gotten to these guys and gone to their head. They know what's at stake. It is what it is, whatever, you know, all the success we had before. But, you know, my thing is like, guys, if we enjoyed it, let's do it again. But, you know, we have a work cut out for us, and we have to get, we're not in championship form yet. We got to get a lot better.
Coach, we've heard a lot about Davius and, of course, Khalil, who's coming up next with all the accolades that they've received. Are there some guys that you think are going to surprise some people this year? Like who's the next group coming up? Who's the next Davius, the next Khalil? Maybe that people haven't been talking about. Are there 1 or 2 guys that you really were impressed with during preseason camp?
DJ Estes from Hoover High School in Alabama has come in and had a phenomenal camp. I mean, he's a walk-on, and he's already working with the second string group. So he's one of them. Marquell Quick, receiver out of Charlotte, has had an outstanding camp. He's in the rotation with the first group, freshman receiver. He can fly. We have some more linemen that we've been impressed with, and we're gonna wait to see how this first week goes before I give them too much credit. But I'm very pleased with that recruiting class and all the work that our coaches have put in with that.
talk to me about the guy on the other sideline, the relationship that you have with Robert Massey.
Yeah, Coach Massey and our relationship goes way back from when I was a player here. Probably about 1994, 95 is when I first met Coach. And he used to come back and talk to a lot of he obviously played secondary here. And when he was in the NFL, he used to always come back and spend time with the defensive backs and some of my teammates. And he just taught us the ropes a lot as far as college ball, college life, and things of that nature. And then on the professional level, when I was here coaching with Coach Broadway, we were on staff here together. Great guy, great coach. Probably is one of the most competitive people I've ever met. He's going to try to beat you at anything. So whether it's playing cards or basketball, whatever the case may be, man, Coach Massey is a competitor. But you can tell his team takes on the personality of their head coach. And they're just a tough, hard-nosed football team. And he's my guy. I love him to death. Our families are close. I coached his son at the school down the street. So we have quite a bit of history.
All right, our next question is from Kate. Go ahead, Kate.
Coach, we talk a lot about the growth within the players on the roster and how they've grown up and experienced the ups and downs of college ball. Curious for you, as you grow and evolve as a coach, what have you learned about yourself this past season, off season?
You know, it's kind of like just stick to the plan. You know who you are, so you don't doubt yourself. You know, I truly believe I'm a winner and I'm a champion, regardless of, I thought that in 2019 when we weren't very good. But if you just stick to your plan and just be consistent with it, you have to adjust, you know, here and there at places. But I didn't really learn too much. I hate to say that. You know, we do a lot of quality control stuff and look at how we're doing things. But I really can't say much about that. But it was just an unbelievable season, and I was just so blessed to be a part of it and be around such a great group of young men and coaching staff.
All right, our next question is from Caleb. Go ahead, Caleb.
Hey, Coach. Flipping the page from the 2022 season going into 2023, restarting the foundation, laying it brick by brick. At what point as a coach do you see and do you feel and do you know that the team is ready to take on the new season?
We talk about improving, and regardless of what we did yesterday or last year or last week, let's get better. You know, throughout the season, we want to get better every week. We want to have a better practice than we did the day before. So hopefully we didn't have to start from square one and go brick from brick. We already had somewhat of a foundation set, but they understand the expectations. And I don't think that there's any pressure on this football team. I think that comes in when your expectations outweigh your training and your preparation. So the guys have made a lot of commitments. They're locked in. They understand what's going on. But we just have to put the ball down, and we cannot make crazy mistakes, holding penalties, offsides, jumping false starts, and all that stuff. You got to take care of the football, and Eagles can't beat Eagles. That's the bottom line.
Coach, coming up after you is Khalil Baker. Again, all the accolades he received last year, MEAC Defensive Player of the Year. He was an FCS All-American. Talk about his development and how he's grown during his time here at NCCU.
Boy, I mean, he came in with me in 2019, and you had a guy that back then, I'll just be 100% transparent. It might miss a day or two of study hall, or might come to something late, or everybody's got a maroon shirt on. He might have a gray shirt on. Kind of couldn't get out of his own way at times early on, but now always walks around with a smile on his face, always laughing and joking. GPA is unbelievable. He is a leader of the football team. He's always out in the community doing things. And he's just one of them guys. He's probably made the most growth in the program that I've seen. And this is why you do it. This is why you coach college football, is to see young men come in as children, I guess you would say, and then grow up to be men. And I am so proud of him and his growth and development. For you to make an All-American team is very difficult. Very difficult. So all the accolades and stuff that he's gotten, he's more than deserving of it all. And I'm so happy for all the opportunities that he's had. For him to be able to go to Oklahoma and get the Aeneas Williams Defensive Player of the Year award, and then they blessed him with a $10,000 Rolex. I had never even been to a Rolex store before. So I think his might have been the first real one I've seen. You know, all my homeboys have fake Rolexes. So, but he's just a blessing having the program. And I got to take my hat off to Coach Sewell, his position coach, and Coach Cord, defensive coordinator, for what they've been able to get out of him. But great guy, great young man, great family. And I can't say enough about the growth and development from him.
Hey, Khalil, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm guessing you didn't wear your watch today.
Nah, I ain't got it on me. That come out special occasions, man.
All right, Khalil. Well, first, let's just start off talking about the preseason and how you feel the preseason went for the team. And then, you know, how prepared are you for this Saturday?
Honestly, I feel like the preseason went super well. I mean, a lot of the incoming freshmen came in and picked up the program and the culture real fast. So that helped out a lot. And we got a lot of older guys now. Like, you know, last year teams was a lot of sophomores and juniors. So we was able to help the freshmen come in and understand how we do things around at NCCU. So it was a smooth process. But camp was fun. It was only about 10 days, but it felt like forever, for real. We just together all day, sitting in the meeting room on the practice field. But we about ready to hit somebody else now.
Sounds good. Our first question's from Chris Clark. Go ahead, Chris.
I think talking to the media should warrant a special occasion, Khalil. That's just me, but we'll talk about that some other time. I wanted to ask you about facing Winston Salem State here. Coach reminded us that a couple of years ago, I mean, this was a close ball game, and even though it is a Division II school, you know, everybody coming in there is looking to hang an L on the champs. I mean, you got a giant target on your back. How do you make sure you dot every I and cross every T? Because even though it is D2, this is still a squad that, I mean, they've had your number. I mean, it's come way too close in the past.
We attack every game the same. You know, we don't want to look at nobody any lesser than what they are because of what division they are. We actually got a couple players that transferred to Winston State, so you know they might know a couple things about us, but we're not gonna change. No, we're gonna do everything the same. We're gonna put our best 11 on the field. That's how we're gonna do it.
I wanted to ask you about the, if I could follow up with the importance of packing that place. I mean, I know they're going to be bringing fans, and I know sometimes other schools bring a lot of fans, fill up the other side, but how much you feed off that home crowd, especially when they get going over to Kelly Riddick?
Oh, yeah, I love it. It's hard. It's a hard place to come into Old Kelly Riddick and try to beat this squad. So we definitely need it packed out. I know the fans are going to come out and show out for us. It's the first game of the year. I'm from Winston, so I know I'm gonna have my own home crowd on the way too to see that game, so she'll be fun.
Have anybody giving you any hard times about that, do you?
Oh no, not at all.
Nothing you want to talk about, basically.
I mean, folks from Winston, I mean, they support Winston State, but they know if you come to Old Kelly Riddick, you better support Khalil Baker, or I ain't gonna be on your side at all.
All right, our next question's from Caleb Veal. Go ahead, Caleb.
What's up, Khalil? Winston does a lot of things running-wise with their scheme. What do you like personally about the matchup and that you guys think you guys can take home the W?
Our defense is built to stop the run. That's our main focus. So I know our front seven going to handle their business, and they put the ball in there. We got the experience back in, and I know we're going to handle ours for sure.
I asked Coach who he saw that kind of has been someone that stepped up, right? What have you seen defensively about some of the new guys? And is there anybody that you feel has really stepped up?
Of course, like Coach said, DJ Estes, he came in very early. He understand the game of football. You know, he could talk the same language with some of us, the older guys. He understood how the game worked. But from people that already been here, I like seeing Jaden Flaker. He stepped up tremendously. He was a huge special team guy for us last season, but he stepped up big time now as a wheel backer. I like to see him flying around on the field. He got great speed for us.
And how do you feel that you've improved since a year ago?
I haven't stopped working. Everything, even a year ago, you can see I transitioned as the year went. Like I got better from the first game to the last game, playing safety, because I came in as a corner. So I was just learning all the angles down, being a better communicator with my teammates. make sure I could put people in the right place and also put myself in the right place to make plays. That was just a big thing for me. But I also worked on my downhill tackling and like J-course tackling a lot for open field tackles. So that's something that I'll show come Saturday.
Our next question's from Kate Rogerson. Go ahead, Kate.
Hey, Khalil, last year when you all faced Winston Salem State, they only got one. You only allowed them to have one red zone attempt. It's a new year, but how do you keep that standard going into this year's matchup?
Stop the run. You know, we know that's what they're going to want to do. Obviously, when they got down to the red zone, they put the ball in the air, and I had got the interception to end that drive, but they got 50 yards on the ground, just that one drive, and they only had like 124 yards rushing for the whole game. So to have 50 yards on that first drive, that just shows like how they can come out and attack us on the ground. So that's what our main focus is, stop the run. So if they put the ball in the air, we'll be able to get it out of it.
Chris mentioned it earlier, how there's a little bit of a target on you all's back from last year's success. How does the team approach that? Do you like having the target on your back, or is it too much pressure? How do you guys approach that going into the season?
Oh no, I never feel like it's too much pressure, just a little bit of adversity. Ain't nothing that we never seen before. We always been the underdog. So now to be the top dog, we still got the same mindset. We're gonna come in the same way. And I told you we don't look at nobody no lesser. So we're gonna come in and attack this game just like we're gonna go in and attack UCLA and A&T and everybody else.
Coach Oliver talked about how you've grown since you started at NCCU. How would you describe your growth during that time?
I came a long way, honestly. I didn't see everything that the culture was meant to be, or how I was, what my role was in the culture. So, I mean, a lot of the older guys, they was telling me things, and it just took me a while to gather and understand where my place was and how I can affect the team and what I do affect the team. So, looking back at it now as an older guy, I can see myself in some of the younger guys, and I can kind of put them on a better path so they don't make the same mistakes that I do. So I feel like my growth, it was much needed, and I'm grateful for it.
Was there a turning point for you?
Yeah, I didn't like being on the sideline too much. Obviously, what I was doing wasn't getting me on the field, so you got to turn a new leaf to get to improve. So that's what I did.
How about off the field?
I just became a better communicator with everybody, honestly, like with study hall, with Miss Lucy, Miss Jenna, making sure I do my work on time, complete everything, be where I need to be, wear the right color socks, wear the right color shirts, everything. So just be one with the team.
Talked about the success you had last year. You had some pretty cool experiences last year, from a couple of pretty nice trips. Can you just talk about that with us? Share some of those memories from a year ago with all the postseason.
Yeah, I actually remember Coach Oliver had called me. He told me like to come to his office about 15 minutes before we had a team meeting. And we went up there and he told me I won the MEAC Defensive Player of the Year award. Everybody was just looking at me because I'm just kind of in there like, I got the award for what I just did. Like, I didn't even feel like I had the best season of what I knew I was capable of. But to get that award, it felt real good. Like, it felt like everything that I did to this point is being noticed. And then before the Celebration Bowl, we was at dinner, and they came out with the All-American selections for the SCS. And I was on there, and he announced that to the team. And then when I got the call, so after the season, I got the call for to be the inaugural Aeneas Williams Award winner. My dad, I ain't gonna lie, I called my dad about fainting. Like, he ain't know, he didn't know what to expect. But going to Oklahoma and meeting the folks out there and get to experience the things like the Jim Thorpe Award and how they do things, it was a true blessing. And I'm forever grateful for that. And I came out with a little bit more than just an award. I got me a painting. I got a hand painting. And we went to the Rolex store. And we were walking around there. I got that nice Rolex fitted on my wrist. And what else? We had got some cowboy boots. They got us a cowboy hat because we were down there in Texas. They gave me a little bit of their culture with me too. So all that experience was great, man. I just want to repeat repeat and do better.